Hello and good evening and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present and the exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as we start the Premier League season, and it's here and it started tonight. I don't know what the latest is at Old Trafford. Can somebody tell me, guys? Is Man United winning or losing? Is Colin in a good mood or a bad mood?
It's 48 minutes and it's still 0-0.
Last time I was in there, Dermo, Con was losing his rag.
Con was losing his mind because they're playing two attacking midfielders instead of a striker.
He's playing, and they're playing Mason Mount. And I couldn't help but have a little giggle.
Become a Spurs fan, Colin. Become a Spurs fan.
I would say that to anybody but Con. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Welcome to the best podcast in town. This is the number one podcast. This will become the Irish number one podcast. It is the Cockeral Clock podcast. Try saying that with a few drinks in you. You might say something completely different. Khan has caught me out a few times. A few
times. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, like his mate Johnson with his abbreviation.
Yeah, you leave my Johnson alone. Anyway,
okay.
We are past 9 o'clock. It is past the orchard. And actually, the title of the show, Are Spurs Building for Success because of the new signing today? Guys, we're all going to get into that. We're going to welcome some people into chat in a minute. First, I'm going to see how Tequila and Boris are doing. And then me and Tequila have a little bit, and Boris have a little bit of a community statement to make. So
a serious topic.
Yeah, serious. Tequila, how are you tonight, sir? And it looks like you're in a bit of the wild, or you're in your back garden.
My back garden. I wish my back garden's like that. My back garden's just full of trees, massive trees with no view. Actually, no, I think about it. It's actually not that different. I'm all right, Dan. A little bit annoyed at the fan base. That's the whole fan base, which we'll talk about. Just because I saw some stuff that is not great. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah, we will do. And I think it's a community to our subscribers and the people to come into our chat. There will be rules set out this season for people to go by. And there is rules within the chat as well. So you have to go by them. Boris, very quickly, how are you, sir? Are you getting excited? Premier League's back. The big grand rounds tomorrow. All the goals coming in first and fastest as THFC Till I Die do the very Soccer Saturday.
Of course, who isn't excited for next Monday when our first match is against Leicester City? Hopefully we can actually win.
Yeah, that is it. We can. Tequila is your man joining us tomorrow. The fella that used to, your mate that used to do the thing on Soccer Saturday. Is he coming tomorrow?
Don't know, Jeff. Is he? He might be.
He might.
We're gonna have to give each other roles then. So, Boris, if you're there, do you want to be Paul Merson? I don't think you do, but you can be if you want.
That goes to Philip Brady. Paul Merson.
Paul Merson, Philip Brady. Who's Boris going to be then?
Boris is going to be
Phil Thompson.
Phil Thompson, yeah.
That means you have to become a Liverpool fan then, Boris. Sorry, mate.
Oh God.
We can give Colin be Charlie Nicholson, the Arsenal striker.
Yeah.
I swear to God, right? It's a rant of mine, but I think when Soccer Saturday got rid of Matt Letizia, and Phil Thompson and all of them, I think they lost what Soccer Saturday was all about.
I don't think as soon as Stelling left as well, there was no replacing Stelling, was there?
No, there isn't. But listen, guys, we are going to, before we get to the comments, we are going to start on the serious topic. Look, it was brought to my attention today, and we've had it in our own chat as well, that there's a lot of frustration going around the fan base at the moment because of signings and whatever. But that doesn't give you the right, the excuse, or the privilege of sitting behind your keyboard and abusing the people that do YouTube channels. We all do these channels off our own back. We sacrifice a hell of a lot to do these channels. We have to we have to give up family dues not to go to them because there's a match or there's a build-up to do. And I think, Tequila, you saw one today which has got us talking about this at the beginning. And we're not going to mention the channel. We're not going to mention what was mentioned in the chat. But
we did debate regarding mentioning it, but in the end, we thought it's best to not mention the channel.
But it left you feeling quite sick, didn't it? And angry.
Yeah, I don't like to see it full stop with any channel. This was a Leave You Out channel. And I know that the Leave You Out side, these terminologies, I'm going to get to the point where I'm probably going to stop this terminology. I'll keep it for now, but this Leave You Out channel is a very opinionated channel, which is fair enough. But some of the stuff in there was really, really out of line. Again, Doma, I don't really want to say specifically what it was out of respect.
No, the point is, the point I'm gonna make on this is, look, me and Tequila have different opinions on the club and how some of it we agree on, and we all agree on it with Boris as well. There's some that me and Tequila do differ on, but as you know, me and Tequila can have a debate on it and be fine. We don't call each other names. We don't call Boris. Boris has a different opinion to me. We don't call Boris names, and we all respect what we're saying, and we all get on with it. The people in the chat do, but there is some, I don't know what you would call them, knobheads that actually go out of their way, leave you in or leave you out, to be abusive, and it's not on.
I do want to reply to Milton. I'm not signaling out Milton, but this hits the topic a little bit. That may be so, and you're allowed to believe that people are negative. Okay, I get called it a lot myself because of my views. You are allowed to believe that. That is fine. What you are not, but you are allowed to. I can't stop it. What you shouldn't be allowed to do, or you shouldn't do, is personally attack and get real personal with the person who believes that way of thinking. You may perceive it as negative, which you're allowed to do, but what you really shouldn't do, and sorry, Tomo? I'm not sure where he went. But what you shouldn't do, Milton, obviously, and you know this yourself, I'm sure, is you wouldn't personally, I'd like to believe you wouldn't personally go and attack the person and get real personal. We're talking some quite nasty stuff that I saw today. And that is my point, is you can call them negative if you want. And yes, maybe in your mind that they're never pleased, and that's fine. But don't personally go in on them. Respect the fact that they are feeling that way, even if you might think they're negative, that's fine. But don't go in on them.
Yeah, and I think
that is my point.
Yeah, and I think Milton's saying that. Yeah, there is a level, and I think Milton and everyone in this chat and in this channel do respect each other, and we've had that.
It's not aimed. Trust me, it's nobody in here.
No,
and none of the channel members. It's nobody.
No, I think it's worth that. We probably have one of the best channels, don't we, Boris? Channel members, I think we'll all agree, on YouTube. I think we've got very balanced head people that come in here.
Yeah, of course. That's just how it is, though. Like, we always have to make sure that we keep a balanced approach to it, because then we don't seem like we're biased to either side. Like me and you, we have. That's why we have Tequila as well, to balance us out. Like me and you, we could talk here about all the great stuff Levy's done, but then Tequila will then also say the negative stuff what he's done, and then we can talk about it all the time and stuff like that. And even Tequila will then agree on stuff, and we'll then agree on stuff with Tequila.
Look, we're going to leave.
I think
we're going to leave
having some
computer issues.
You're having some internet issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, fine. Sorry. Am I okay now? Yeah, sorry, finish. Sorry, Boris. Just a little bit.
You can. Oh, no, it's I've already finished. I'm just saying your camera's a bit behind at times as well.
All right. Is that
right
now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, there are people in the chat, and I'm not Milton. Trust me, mate. It wasn't aimed at you. It was just responding to the negative comment. Hod Gods also put in. Just very quickly, demo, and then we'll move on. Hod Gods put in many people negative, and that's fine. And that is an explanation of some of the reason Hod God, and I know that you know because you were in the same channel I was. I did see you there. That's all I'll say. But still, it doesn't. You probably heard some of the same things I did. So it's way out of line. People were going way too far, and I hated seeing it, and I don't just leave it out in stuff. I could care less about that stuff. You don't treat people a certain way. At least we shouldn't be treating each other. We're all meant to be Spurs fans, and I guess I'll leave it there.
We all support the same club at the end of the day, don't we?
Yeah.
And it should. Look, we're not going to agree in everything, but at least show somebody respect. At least show somebody the right to have their opinion. Some go too far, and then people don't let them get on with it. But if anyone in this chat, if any of the mods or any of us see anyone attacking any of us people on as hosts or in the chat, you will be timed out and then you will be banned. It will not be accepted on this channel. And it's the rule that's going forward. But saying that, I think, guys, you can agree with me. We've got the best people come into our chat. We very rarely get negative people. We have all different fans come into our chat.
Yep.
Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham fans come in here.
Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on the Arsenal fans, but that's just Arsenal fans in general, isn't it?
Yeah. And, I'm sure that if somebody had to go at me, we had this knobhead using our logo and our name.
Mm.
I mean, which has caused us an awful lot of hassle.
Don't say his name. You'll probably end up summoning him on an alt account.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like saying Candyman 3 times. You'll end up Candyman will end up appearing.
It's not worth wasting the airtime in there, mate. I know. It's not worth the airtime.
The point I'm making, it will not be tolerated on this channel. And anyone that causes any against us, against myself, or Tequila, or Boris, or Colin, or Philip, they will be timed out and they will be banned.
Or anyone we may have as any guests. If we see any of it, then
or even if it's happening to anybody in the chat as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, from moving on to that serious topic to now less serious and more fun topics for what we want.
More fun topics. Well, let's welcome a few people into the chat. We've got Hot God 10. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Hot God. We've got Gerard saying it's 0-0. He's saying it's a library, Dermo. Is it that bad?
I thought that was the Arsenal stadium. Yeah.
Well, maybe Old Trafford's become the new library.
I thought the library was the Etihad. No.
No.
I guess it could be more than one.
No, well, the Old Trafford's the waterfall. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Because of the massive holes in the roof.
Don't tell Colin that.
No, he'll find out anyways.
Yeah, he will. Tequila, this is your neck of the woods, sir. So I'll let you deal with this. This is your baby. So I'll let you deal with this.
Yeah, I put that in. Obviously, it's just to explain the situation. So it's as the comment says. It's in case anyone doesn't know. I think most of the people who come into our chat do know. But we have been demonetized by YouTube for not very fair reasons. I think most of us feel that way, but they can be like that, and we are appealing in a couple of weeks, isn't it, Demo?
Yeah, 26. We can reapply. So keep your fingers crossed, guys.
And we'll let you know the outcome of that. We're transparent about it. But in the meantime, we have set up a Patreon, and it is only $3 or $4 a month. And if you choose the higher tier, then you will get to come on the fan shows after the game, starting the first one. Obviously, will be this Monday night after the Leicester game. Just
very quickly, I just have to jump into my other studio, guys. Sorry, I'll be back in a minute. Sorry.
Oh, what I'll do is I'll welcome
you. Look, I'm in my other studio already.
Oh, I thought you were going to take a while, Dermo. You just teleported in there, did you? Like Star Trek.
Yeah, hang on. Is it this one?
If that new chair he has,
I'm in the right studio.
If that new chair he has Tequila, it makes him teleport.
Yeah. Hang on. Just let me type it in. I should actually do the noise when I've done that, by the way.
Or just have a noise where it just changes on the screen.
You need to get a noise. Yeah, you need to get a noise, Dermo.
Have I still got it here? Have I still got it? Have I? No, I haven't. I got rid of it.
Demo, I would have wished you kept the ducks. You got rid of the ducks. So we can't do the Jason Cundy thing anymore. You got rid of the ducks.
You mean like that one? Man United.
Has anyone that one?
Yeah. This is we are going to get back serious in a minute. This is how me and Tequila called. This is how me and Boris called Tequila to get ready for the show. See, we play that and then Keeler comes straight in.
Well, we've edited it a bit, so instead of saying Thanos, it's Levy, so that someone's in straight away. Just say Levy 3 times and it wakes him up.
Yeah. There is a video going around with Keeler dressed as Thor and lightning everywhere. I'm the little rocket.
You're rocket raccoon.
Rocket, yeah, right. And Boris is Groot. And that's us 3 running towards Levy. Levy is like sitting there going, "Oh my good lord." Anyway, anyone watching this?
And Levy is Doctor Doom. We've decided that, haven't we?
Anyone watching this? Anybody listening to it on Spotify or any podcast, they'll have no clue what we're on about.
Anyone thinking we are loonies? We're not loonies. We are sensible Spurs fans. We do very serious. You just
contradicted yourself again.
I know.
So we are loonies, and you said we're not.
I know. We're not. We do a serious podcast here with serious debates.
Indeed.
Yeah. Like hell we do.
Should we finally welcome the people in?
Yeah.
Do you want to read out demo, or do you want me to?
Yeah. Either. Good evening, panel, says Milton. Panel. And everyone in the chat, lots of love from Australia.
G'day,
mate. In Andrew Trust, I'm excited with the Wilson signing at 6:07. So this man is a legend.
Why is he awake? I don't get your night shift, right? Okay, right.
I tell you, he tunes in at silly hour times in the morning with his night shift. God bless you, Milton. God bless you, man. Boris is Tim Sherwood, says Carl. There you go, Boris.
So, Boris, you can claim responsibility for Harry Kane now. Well done.
Oh, man, I'll take that, but then go from Tottenham to Liverpool, unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyone supports Spurs, and that's their right, a fan and an individual.
Yep.
We read that one from Milton. Big up, Milton. There is no need to tear people apart. That is why I've stopped watching a lot of channels.
Oh, shame. I can't tear people apart. I'm sad.
And Hog God 10, big up, James says, it's what I love about this channel. It's fun with sensible chats. Well,
cheers, man.
That means a lot. That means a lot to us.
What do you class as sensible from us?
Yeah, the sensible part is the only thing I can disagree with.
Philip is the sensible one.
He's not here tonight, so
he's not here. It's like when the parents are away, all the teenagers throw a house party.
Do you think we've all got ADHD or something like that?
Well, I actually do. That's what.
Why aren't you taking your medication then?
You know what? Seriously,
pass it around.
Seriously, you've hit a ball in the head. There's very rare medication for adults with ADHD.
Yeah.
There is for children, but there isn't for adults.
Yeah, I've seen there's some shows that have covered that. Comedy shows.
So maybe that might explain me to you, Boris.
Yeah,
Boris now understands Dermo a hell of a lot more now.
I think I've started understanding him a lot more since I became a member. So that's another great thing about becoming a member.
Yeah. You get to understand Dermo.
Oh dear. Phillips put. Oh, the boss is in the chat. Bet behave yourselves, lads. He's in there. Just behave yourselves. Pretend nothing's happened. Put away the booze and the.
You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear.
No, you didn't hear anything or see anything.
Boris is hiding the all the people that are around for the party in the kitchen or something, hiding them somewhere.
Don't worry, guys. I'm hiding the laughing gas. I left it with my mate.
Yeah. Did you? Was that Biss again?
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been. Anyway, it's all Boris's fault, Philip. We're blaming Boris. Anyway,
of course it is. I think we might need to get back to these comments now.
Yeah, I think so too.
We can't get through them. We can't get through them all, Boris. Something keeps happening. We can't get through.
Column said they blue tagged the link up actually.
Is that where the £18 million went to just on blue tack to tack it up?
Blue tacked it, yeah.
It's where the rest of their transfer budget's gone on blue tack.
Milton says, I really respect all your hard work that you put into this wonderful channel, but unfortunately in life you will come across twats who must be the bigger person. Much respect to you all. Well, Wilton, can I just say that is so very kind of you to say. And guys, look, I don't know how to take comments like this. So Tequila and Boris, I'll let you have to say. Tequila, you go first to these lovely words from Milton.
No, he's 100% right. You know, you can't. There is 100% right. So no matter what we say, unfortunately, you know, it will still happen. All we can do is obviously be very mindful of it, I suppose, and make sure that we ourselves don't fall into it. That's all you can really do, unfortunately.
And the first bit for the hard, the wonderful channel bit, just thank you so much. Do you want to say something about that? I mean, that's very kind of him to say.
Yeah, and Milton, you're here for most of our shows, mate. So we do respect the fact that you put your time into watching us as well, Brett. So back at you, mate.
Yeah, but Boris, do you want to say anything to Milton? Thank you. And
I think it's just the exact same thing as what we said, what Keeler said, really. Just thank you for your kind words, and we hope to continue this and hope we can grow the channel even more to become probably one of the most biggest, most moderate Spurs communities we can be. And I feel like we can do that this season if we just try, and which I feel like we all are doing individually. So I don't see why we can't become the biggest moderate channel out there, where we can have people who are on either side, and even if it ends up getting too heated, we can end up stopping it as well, because we want to keep the Spurs community happy, but we always know that can't always be done. So with people like Milton here, with Killian Kenny, and then Carl, and then of course Philip, everybody here and stuff like that, everybody part of it, even Hot Dog, all that sort of stuff. We're just very grateful for it. Really, it gives us something fun to do, to enjoy our days and stuff like that. With how unfun the real world is at times, it just gives us a good escape for it, so we can all just talk about football.
And that.
Yep, exactly.
That's all we do. But thank you so much. Very kind of you, Milton. And did you? I'm lucky. Anyway, yes, 007. As you can see in our gaming chat, I put you in as 007, by the way. I don't know if you saw that earlier. I work all 7 days a week, 3:30 a.m. till 1 o'clock. Wow. That's so
he's still at work right now, then.
Yeah. Bless you, mate.
Killian says the European football expert TID is live still. Yeah, it is. We are covering the opening of the Premier League weekend. It is on there. Right, lads. Behave yourself. The boss is in town.
Yes, sir.
Nothing going on here, is there, Tequila? Nothing going on here.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see
all
here.
Good.
We're all good. We're behaving ourselves. And put that bottle away, Tequila. Tequila, put that bottle away. Did you hide the stuff, did you?
Yeah, mate. This is covering for me, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Good. Yeah.
We'll probably get in trouble for saying that, because they're like, oh, Tequila's making fun of it. I'm having a laugh, guys. It's not serious. Yeah.
Philip says Coventry versus Oxford is a cracker, unlike the ball fest at Old Trafford.
What's the score? Have you put the score?
Yeah, let's know what the score is actually.
Coventry versus Oxford. Oxford is also 0-0. Yeah. No goals in any of them. Okay.
My uncle and aunt live in Coventry, so I have a sort of small...
Coventry versus Oxford, it's 2-2. United Fulham still.
Yeah. Do not.
So he was being serious then. I didn't know if he was being sarcastic or not.
Yeah. Okay. Don't mention the 87 Cup final to Philip.
Even though you just did, and you know he's watching. Well done, Dermo. There goes Philip's coffee thrown across the room. And his laptop's broken again, so you have to get a new one, mate.
Yeah. No, he's not feeling too well at the moment, Philip. So, listen, I hope you feel better. He is the godfather of the channel. He is the THFC godfather. Did you see what he's just put in?
Of course he heard you, Dermo. We've had this conversation before about Dermo and his lack of tact. He's got none at all.
I don't. It's black and white with me, but everyone seems to accept me for who I am. Lads, send the women home. Dad's back. Yeah.
We're not going to get onto the actual main topic, are we? Until
it doesn't look like it. No,
this is what the podcast is all about. You could work all week, all day for the podcast, and the podcast these are what these podcasts are all around. Good evening, gents. Watching Coventry versus Oxford. Carl says the best channel. Yeah, the best channel on YouTube with the nicest blokes as well. Well, thank you so much, Carl.
Checked in the mail, mate.
Cheers, Carl.
When are you going to come on, Carl? You part of this channel too.
Sure, you gotta get you on more, mate.
Yeah, we've got to get you on more. Big up to Liston Hines. Every time I see Liston, I just think of Sonny Liston. The former heavyweight champion of the world, who Muhammad Ali danced him around the ring for 7 rounds, and he refused to come out in round 7 for Ali to win his first world title. I'm no football scholar by any means, well, nor are we. I mean, God knows how we do a show every day. I mean, Boris and Tequila and Philip are more sensible than me. I know nothing about football. So when the club announced the orbit was made in social media, by instinct thought that it was a sign of the women's team. Since I think, do you know what? Can I actually say this? I actually had the same thought as well. I woke up to it, right, in our group. We got our own group chat. And I'm thinking, who the hell is this? It's the women's side.
Oh, yeah, because I announced it, didn't I, in the chat? Yeah. I said that we got a new signing.
Big up Mr. Brady to be on in a minute, telling us off, by the way. He will be. He says, I heard you.
Yes, Killian, there is news on other bet, which we will be getting to eventually once we've gone through all the comments.
Yeah, we'll get to it about midnight or so.
Exactly.
Half 12, maybe.
You can talk, Dermo, putting certain videos on TikTok trying to bite me.
He's trying to bait you, I think.
Yeah, bait me. Well, look,
that's like what I do to Cole. Might just take a shot at United and he comes in, boom, just like that.
Yeah. One horse's head on the way. Philip, I've got no more room for them. I don't know where I'm going to put this one. Mrs. Tron has to actually empty one of her cupboards, close out of it to fill the horse's head in. She's not happy with me. You're causing me hassles here, man.
Wherever you do them, don't go to the pet cemetery and bury them. They come back as demons, apparently.
Well, not even just that. The RSPCA would also be on your door as well.
Yeah.
One good thing is they're not over in Ireland. You got something over here. Simply Ace. Hello, everyone. Do you know what? That's the chat, lads.
Right, finally got through it.
Right. Excuse my neighbours who have just come back from the pub. Right. Listen, where we're going to start, we are going to talk about a new signing, but I want to start somewhere first, guys, where I think me and Tequila talked last night about it. And it's a topic it's a topic that's been running for the last 5 years. And to be fair, none of us are no the wiser of who, what, where, who did. We don't know.
Someone was hired, weren't they, Dermo? We just don't know.
Somebody was hired, but we don't know who. Maybe we need to send Scooby-Doo in to find out who it was. But Daniel, the naming rights for the stadium. Now, has this been the biggest charade of all time?
Just a waste of potential income, Dermo.
Just a waste of potential income. Yeah. Well, so really, the questions start off with, guys, on this podcast, after we're going to now get a bit serious. Why has Daniel Levy struggled to secure naming rights for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Everyone's just gone silent because nobody's got it.
Well, I have got answers. I didn't know if Tequila just wanted to go first.
No, go on, Boris. I don't know if you've got it.
I'd say in general, it's just because we don't know how much the naming rights are worth, really, if you think about it, because you saw how much income we brought in last year from the stadium. What was it, like over 500 million in total last season? And that's from concerts, match days, all that sort of stuff, NFL, all that sort of stuff. So if you think about that, it's only just going to keep increasing. So you can't really get an exact price on naming rights of the stadium because it'll be a major factor inside of it. So if you think about it, there's not really a set number you can give, really, compared to like Barcelona, where about to sell everything, considering they're selling their old seats from the old stadium. So that's the thing, that you can't really put a price on the amount of money. Like, say if we got like 500 million for like that'd be a good offer. But that's the thing. I think even Levy realised it, and I realised this, and I think everybody else does on the panel. You just can't get a price on it because of how popular of a market brand it'll possibly be, because they'll give you access to with the naming, it gives you possible access into the Asian market as well. So, like, if a company's like big in Europe and big in so on and so forth, they can get access to Europe. Like, look at how what was it, Getir or something like that?
Yeah.
CS sponsor of the old kits. They stopped sponsoring us because they were bigger in Turkey, so they've gone off to Turkey. So it's just like, you can't really get an exact amount of how much you want to spend, really, because it's different with Brighton's naming rights, because they're not as well known of a club. They're an amazing club, don't get me wrong, but comparing like even as Hogbot said, it's too expensive for clubs, because even Levy knows it'll be a gold mine for the club, so he wants to put the price as high as possible.
Yeah, when you've got something like this, though, don't you kind of create a bidding war? So it's like an eBay, like selling something on eBay. You say, okay, so this is the naming rights, blah blah blah. We're going to accept bids, and then they bid against each other, and then the highest wins. And surely it's better to get something in after 5 years than nothing. No.
I mean, I'd love to know whose job he was. I would love to get that job. What are you doing? Go in Monday morning.
Carl mentioned in a chat. Carl said,
I'm pretty sure.
See, Carl is. I don't know if I think that's a serious comment. Somebody called Todd. I don't know who he's referring to. Do you know who it is?
Todd Bowley.
No. Boris, any idea who? I know that we hired somebody. I remember that.
Todd L. Klein. I'm pretty sure it might be.
Yeah.
That might be the guy who's actually done it, because I've just searched up the name Todd on Spurs, and he's the first one what comes up.
Yeah,
and he's
Todd Klein. That's it. Okay. Todd Klein.
Yeah.
So he's not even. So I'll trust what Carl's saying. So he's not even here anymore. So we hired him. If Carl's information is right, and why would
he's still here?
Oh, he's still here then.
He's a board member now.
Oh, he got promotion, did he?
Yeah.
He got promotion by not getting naming rights. Right.
Hang on. Let me work this out right. You're given a job. You didn't do your job right, and you get promotion. No, he's at Chelsea. That's where he went. He left Tottenham to go to Chelsea.
Oh, he must have been a board member before. What
it was, he was hired as to get in the naming rights. He left after 3 years to go over to Chelsea.
He might have lost Carl. I just had a look on his Twitter, and it said he was a Tottenham Hotspur board member. That's all I was going off.
Yeah, no, he left about 2 years ago and went to Chelsea.
Oh yeah, because I think he joined Bowley's group, didn't he, and stuff like that.
Well, that sort of explains why Chelsea are like how Chelsea are, to be fair. Anyway, so look,
nothing like failing upwards, is there, Dummy?
There really isn't, is there? I mean, this fella came in. I love Carl's thing. He said he sat in his office for 3 years watching cat videos. I think he was doing something more than cat videos, but that's beside the point.
He was watching pussy videos. I don't blame him. What?
Tequila, you know what?
Never mind. So look, we know something's going to happen at the end of the year. We know that the former part owner of Newcastle is going to put in trying to get people together. We know, I think, Amazon's owner's trying to get something there as well.
I won't be surprised if he paid for the naming rights, because of how. I won't be surprised if he put like a couple £100 million down just to play at the Amazon Prime Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? Well, I think what will happen is, and
that's great. That's great, Carl. I'm sorry, Carl's on fire tonight. That's good.
Yeah. We'll go through the chat, and then I'll get what I think out in a minute. Nobody has bid what Levy reckons the naming rights are worth. Too right. Well done, Philip. Too expensive. Wilton. This is for me. This is what it should be called. I have given it a name, Dermot, but no one goes a damn what I think. Well, I back you on this one, Milton. And I know Philip will, and I know Tequila will, and I know the Hat Chat will. I think it should be called the Lane. It already has a name. It's called White Hart Lane.
I've no problem with calling it. Let's just call it that then, and that be that.
Do you know what? It always will be White Hart Lane for me. Whatever they want to call it, it will always be White. When Arsenal built their stadium, and I did work in it for 4 years, shamefully, but I did work in it. It was only a job. It was money for the family. I had to feed the children, lads. I'm sorry. I had to take the job. I'm sorry. But they had naming rights already done, sorted. Done. The Emirates, that's it, done. Job done.
Yeah.
Just call it the White Hart Lane. It was built on White Hart Lane. It's still White Hart Lane. Just call it White Hart Lane.
I think the difference is, though, with the Emirates compared to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is how advanced the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is in that regard. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't call it the Lane. That would be a great name for it to preserve the history. But the thing is, everybody seems to also forget that it hosts plenty of tournaments and stuff like that. Not even it hosts NFL matches, concerts, football matches. Whether that's the men's game, the women's game, the under 21s, that sometimes it hosts a lot of stuff what's in football related, and I think it's going to be a goldmine if somebody actually decides to bid for it, because you know, and I think Levy knows that, unfortunately. So I don't think he'll ever get called the Lane, even though how many fans want it to be called that. I doubt it'll stay like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tequila, Neil says here, I mean, I agree with you, Boris. I mean, look, I'm seeing it from an older fan's point of view. You're seeing it from a younger fan's point of view. And Tequila is seeing it from somewhere in the middle. Because Tequila is younger than me, by the way. Just let everyone know. I am the old get on tonight. I am the older fan tonight. I'm taking Philip's role. I am the older generation fan. You know, somebody has to take it, and I'll take that responsibility. Experts have said it's better not to have a stadium sponsored. They feel just calling it the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Which experts, Neil? I'm not calling them out. I'm just curious, like who've said that.
Carl says, "Okay, I will tell you the truth. I've been in talks with Daniel Levy, and it was close."
Is Carl the expert?
Yeah, it was close, but they didn't like the name and stick. Oh, don't sod off. Sod off, seriously, Carl.
Dom, I'll be back in 1 minute. Sorry, mate.
That's Tequila's special friend coming to see him. Anyway, Hoggo again says Amazon Stadium followed by Amazon Prime Spurs channel with live football subscription. Yeah, I'm going to star that one because I want to come back to that one, guys. If that's all right with you, Boris.
Yeah, that's fine.
That sounds.
I think it'll be fun with Tequila.
Yeah, I will. Big up to Mr. Brady. It says, if it's staying the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, then let's have... I said this the other night, Philip, and I think I said it with you. Then let's have the Bill Nick stand, the Jimmy Greaves stand, and so I think so. I mean, if you could have one stand called after one player, who would it be for you, Boris?
Honestly, the only players I've really seen in my time is like Son and Kane, like the big legends. But honestly, though, the Schumann Son stand. I'd rather have a stand named after Son rather than Kane, because even though Kane's came through with the academy and stuff like that, like I've never heard Son complain once.
No.
Even if there's issues and stuff like that, he never really showed it. The only time we've ever seen Son angry as well is unfortunately during the Amazon Prime documentary.
Yeah.
That's the literal. And if Prime never happened, and if Jose Mourinho wasn't around, we would have never seen Son lash out at a single player. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, because of course it'll happen, but it just shows that it's a completely different. But yeah,
and the other. Yeah, and Boris, the other thing, I don't know if to keep this back now from the back phone. But,
sorry, guys. Back.
Yeah. I'll get to that point. If you could call one of the stands after one player, Tequila, who would it be? Because Philip's saying if it's been kept the same name, then you should have a Bill Nick stand, a Jimmy Greaves stand, and so on and so on. If you could pick one player, Boris has gone for Sonny.
As much as I love David Ginola, and he was the reason I did become a Spurs fan initially, I don't think he was a big enough player for the club to have a stand named after him. Oh, dearie me. It's hard to look past the two Phillips put in, to be honest. Birkinshaw?
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. Big up, Philip. Good. That was a good talking point, Philip. We have starred Hod God 10's comics. I want to come back to it in a minute because you went, so I will come back to that. Oh God, don't worry. Keeping it Tottenham Hotspur name, keep Spurs name always in front of. Yeah, exactly. Agreed, says Philip. Wilton says, I have not given it White Hart Lane in memory of the original stadium. The original stadium will always be in the mind. With it. Do you know what? I'm very sad.
Sorry to interrupt you, but according to Philip, it's 1-0 United.
Oh God.
Yeah, Xerxes, 87th minute on his debut, coming off the bench.
Yeah, if you're quiet, you can hear a voice screaming, "Yes, yes," and that would be calm. We probably all hear it.
Yeah, doing something else. I feel sorry for you, Boris. I feel so sorry for you for one reason: you never got to experience White Hart Lane. White Hart Lane was the most special, unique stadium in the world. Everyone was on top of each other. It was, I don't know, I also used to say you could walk in and feel the spirit of Bill Nick in that stadium. The soul of them, the soul of the 61 side. You go back there and you have images of Jimmy Greaves scoring or Martin Shivers or Garth Crooks or Paul Gascoigne doing these tricks. And do you know what I mean? It was just something. It was a special, special stadium. And much as I loved the new stadium, it was only the last time I went there I felt the spirit of Bill Nick in that new stadium. And I'm very sorry for you that you never got to see that.
I mean, it was obviously it's a legendary stadium for us. It was a nightmare to get to, so you didn't miss that part, Boris, because of the way the trains were.
Still isn't great to get to.
Haven't
improved that.
I just hate going to London in general, so it's not really much.
I kind of, as somebody who moved out of London about 20 years ago, I don't really want to go back.
I've been there a few times. I hated it every single time.
Yeah, I understand. But no, it was a stadium. I don't know. I understand where Wilton's coming from when he's like saying that it was its own entity and maybe this should be called something else. But it was more or less born under. It's like a phoenix rise from the ashes. It was born on the same ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and I think also that how Tottenham started was they were formed under a lamppost in 1882.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The one called City United that went with Hotspur because of Harry Hotspur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, it's all about to dare is to do. And I think we miss that as Spurs fans. We do miss that. That's our motto. To dare is to do. And I think Spurs fans and I think some people miss that point. We're the swashbuckling team of football. Do you know what I mean? And we were the first to do everything. We're such a big club. Called the stadium the Asylum because Spurs, it causes. Yeah, that's so true.
So is that why you always escape from the loony bin there, man?
Yeah, I think what you do when you go. I mean, we've had some rude names, haven't we, Tequila on here? One was I forget what it was called, but you just have a cigarette after you have to go to the match.
I could mention something, but I won't.
Carl says that is the bat phone there. There is emergency. Yeah, he was calling it for me, and he was Alfred, so he's calling it. He's saying the bat phone, sir. Aligo reported this months ago. Yeah,
that was to your answer, Tequila. He was asking what expert.
Ali Gold was okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Jimmy Greaves says, Wilson, Gary Doherty, toilets in the south.
Next to the Eric Dyer ones. Yes.
No, you have to get Matt Doherty's toilets as well.
Yeah. It's got to have the Bill Nick stand. I mean, he started. Look, Philip will tell you this, and Philip, I hope you back me up in this as well, sir. Bill Nick for me is the godfather. He is the man that built Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. He is the man that had a hand in the 60s. He had a hand in the 70s. He even picked players for Keith Berkshire in the 80s for the 80s side.
Yeah.
He lived, I tell you one thing about Bill Nick, right? He lived only about, Philip will back me up in this. He lived about yards away from the stadium in a house. He didn't live too far from the stadium. And I think he lived there till he died. And he used to love watching the fans come up and down. And I think he talked to the fans as well. Bill Nick, for me, he is and always will be Mr. Tottenham.
Yeah.
And we don't do enough for his legacy. And that we even missed his birthday the other year.
I was about to say, Demo, we don't do enough. We don't do anything.
No. And that angers me. We missed his birthday. We missed his bloody anniversary the other year.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking that they're getting around it.
I mean, you get Man United, they do a big thing for Sir Matt Busby passes away and they roll out the red carpet. And the anniversary every year to celebrate the Busby babes, the Munich air crash.
I think it's just Demo. It's just become. I'm sorry, one of the people in the chats. Oh yeah, Hod God. It's hard for me to argue. It's all become so corporate, Demo.
Yeah.
It's all become so corporate.
Yeah.
And included, so that's the reason I think why they don't, they don't really look back in history that much. It's just become such a corporate entity.
Yeah, it's true. I'm going to get to Phillips makes a very good point. All the G-men, the reference to Alan Gilzine and Jimmy Greaves with the dynamic duo with Archibald and Crook. Please, we did. Philip put the name of the man. We did a special thing. This man, right, lads, we have to get him on again with you two. He wakes up every morning. He goes to his piano and he plays "Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur" every morning. That's the first thing he does when he gets out of bed.
When did you have him on, Demo? I don't remember. It must have been
a while ago. We had a special guest. He wrote the book on Jimmy Greaves, the G-Men. Me and Philip were very, very privileged to get forward copies of that book. It's a brilliant book to read. If I find it, I'll send it on to you, Tequila. It's a fantastic book to read, all about the G-Men and all about Tottenham around there. I tell you, it's fantastic.
Okay.
I want to do is I'll find the video. I find the podcast and I'll redo it again. I'll put the podcast out again because it is well worth. This man he knew everyone. Yeah. He was a legend. Simply as says at White Hart Lane, we won 17, drew 2. We will never repeat that home record. No, that was in our last season.
Wasn't that the one where we bottled the league to Leicester? Or was that the one where we bottled the league to Chelsea?
No.
17 and 2. That's going back much further, isn't it? Am I wrong in that? I think it is. What year was that?
16, 17, 17, 18.
Yeah, so that was the Leicester and Chelsea.
So
we came second.
17, 18, okay, yeah.
It's got to be the Amazon Arena. No, it doesn't.
If they give us 500 million, I'll happily call it the Amazon Arena.
Yeah, sorry, not for me. White Hart Lane, always the same. Dean Scarlett's on for Oxford. Come on, Dean, show us what you can do. Philip says the Jerry Booth stand.
It's better than the Andy Booth stand.
Bill Nick, he lived in a Tower house 100 yards from the lane.
Yeah.
I mean, Boris, look, I am so...
I told you to be in here screaming, didn't I?
I told you. He can come on if he wants. You can come on, Colin. You're more than welcome. This podcast has already gone sideways anyway.
Yep.
But no, Boris, do you watch a lot of the old stuff? Do you look at the history as a younger fan?
I look at the history, but I don't watch the old stuff because I just see it as if you're doing that, you're not going to look into the future, unfortunately, and I just don't see a point in it. Like how I'll do research on the past and stuff like that, like I've always said, but I'll never go back and watch all of it religiously because I just don't see a point in it. I haven't lived those times, and like as even Tequila said back then, when we did when I was on my first one, like I wasn't born back then. I wasn't a Spurs fan back then. I won't resonate with those sort of moments. Like I resonate with the Lucas Moura 3-2 against Ajax.
Yeah,
that's my sort of resonation with with their
So-
Spurs. Like that's my main core memory of Spurs. That's what made me fall in love with the club. That memory of that semi-final.
Yeah. So why do? Well, that's a very interesting point. I mean, I love the history of Tottenham. I mean, I revel in it. I eat it up because I just love history and I love the history of my club, and I feel that. I mean, I feel privileged to see what I see, and I even say to Tequila, I feel sorry for Tequila. He didn't see what I saw, and I feel sorry for you that I know you got Ajax, but to have that feeling of lifting a trophy, it is something of it's something that you can't explain. Do you know what I mean? And I feel sorry for you for that. I mean,
I've seen us win trophies, the Audi Cup, the Tiger Cup.
What did we win this year, Demo? I always got to ask him.
Oh look, they've only
Well,
won one
challenge.
game. You're only
Well,
top of the league until tomorrow.
I don't care. Joshua Xerxes scored on his debut.
Joshua Midday, but okay, calm down.
Calm down. Anyway, Norman Geller, that man. I tell you, he was in his. I think he's 80. He's in his 80s. He is a legend. That man is. He met Matt Busby, George Best. This fella met anyone who's anyone in football, and I would love to get him on again. Me and Philip are trying to get him on again, but I'm not writing that. I'm not bringing that up, Neil. I'm sorry. I know. I would be shocked. Personally, I would be shocked. I think I still have a lot of PDF version Philip sent me. I'll have a look. Chelsea, that was the year 16-17. Columns. Joshua Zachary. I was hoping you'd do celebration when I was doing that for you.
You know what I want to do, Com? I want to throw a spear at Xerxes. He'll get that.
Imagine if Solanke just gets a double on his debut then.
Yeah.
Just to rub it in Xerxes first.
Xerxes ran for 30 minutes and scored.
All right, then we'll just bring on Solanke in the 60th minute.
Did Onana keep a clean sheet? He did he?
He did, yeah.
That's good for my fantasy football team.
Did he bash it? Did he bash anybody's skull in?
No, he didn't.
Oh, that's a shame.
And actually, the two best players on the pitch was Mazraoui, obviously the new signing, and surprisingly, Harry Maguire.
I always knew.
Seriously?
Good old slabhead.
He was solid. He was solid at the back today.
Maybe going to the Euros has helped him.
Yeah, I think so.
Hot God said my best memory of White Hart Lane was seeing my idol score that. Oh, you got to look that goal up, Boris. You really do. Tottenham versus Oxford, 1987. It's the goal. You've never seen anything like it. Glenn Hoddle, he was a genius. Hot God 10 would, and Philip, and I'm sure Tequila will vouch for me for this. Glenn Hoddle was the closest thing we had to Maradona. That's how good he was. I mean, he scored some cracking goals.
I thought that was Gaza, considering how much everybody hyped up Gaza.
No, Glenn Hoddle is up here. Paul Gascoigne is here. Glenn Hoddle is on another. If he played for the French national side, he would have won over 100 caps for France. And Michel Platini, who is a French legend as well, another legend of the game. See, I was so lucky to see these great players play as a kid. Platini, Glenn Hoddle, Maradona, Zico, Baresi for Italy, not Paolo Rossi a little bit, but Scalacci. He scored he was top scorer in the 1990 World Cup. Gary Lineker, Paul Gascoigne. I feel I want to ask you three a question on players, right? It's only just come to me now, and we will get to our new player. Do you guys feel today's players don't have the same personalities of players, say, of when I was a kid? Do you feel the players today are too corporate and too professional?
Dermo, I think that is celebrities generally in general, because, like I say, there's so many media training and the world's a lot more PC nowadays.
Well, not even just that, but like a lot of players back in Demo's day in like the 1890s and 2000s, like those sort of ones were, a lot of them were known for substance abuse, alcohol abuse, physical abuse. Look at George Best. How many times he was, if he wasn't a professional footballer, he would have been locked up 10 times over.
But
let's be honest with
George Best was Pele called George Best the best player that ever lived.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but are you saying like if players are different, of course they're going to be different. So like, I'd say the closest representation of what George Best did now, you can't really even compare like a player what crimes have been committed really, because every crime's different. Like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of different things really. Like modern day now, we have people like a certain Manchester United youngster who was supposed to be like England's number 9 down in the line. Like the issues what come out with him. We've also now got the issues with Basuma, what going to be dealt with, what being dealt with. The issues with Benthinker. Everything's different at this point in time. Like it's just different. Like with sort of stuff
it's like
more
Boris,
acceptable.
Boris, it's like, you got to remember is that nowadays there's a camera on every street and everybody's holding a camera in their back.
Exactly. Well, and another perfect example was Beckham back for the early 2000s and the late 90s. Like, look how highlighted he was, because he was known as the Spice Girls boy toy.
I mean, Colin, you were around that time. You're a Man United fan, and I mean, George Best is probably very big in your history of your club. The statues, him and Best, Charlton and Law at Old Trafford. I mean, have Man United probably have the best way of looking after players? Sir Alex Ferguson did. He looked after all the class of '92, didn't he? I mean,
yeah, he did. I mean, Sir Alex was just one of these people that. I mean, I've watched so many documentaries, of the class of '92 and stuff, and they've all said, he was like a father figure, I don't think it's not like that anymore in football. The managers are there to get the best out of the players. They're not really there to look after them as such anymore. There obviously is some managers that do go out there.
Perfect example is Pochettino.
Yeah,
he was always there. He was always protecting players. Ange's always protecting players and dealing with them if it's like an outcome what's happened. Like he will protect. Like there is managers who will fight for their players, and like Ange's one, Pochettino's one. Then there's ones what will throw them under the bus, like Jose Mourinho, Conte, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a massive difference from what it was then and what it is now. I mean, and you were saying about obviously footballers and the celebrityness and stuff like that. That's just the way it's gone. I mean, obviously I'm a little bit younger than everyone else, probably barring Boris. But I remember the likes of Pirlo, Iniesta, De Rossi, all these players that were constant professionals, not really getting into much bother, put the heart and soul online. And it's changed now. I mean, you can look at a lot of clubs and just see players are out for themselves now.
Can you just take over, Colin, for a minute? Sorry.
Can I take over? Ooh, why am I taking over? Tequila, take over.
Yeah, I'll take over. What am I taking over? You have to tell me what I'm taking over first.
I think this. No.
Tottenham have announced the signing of Burnley attacker Wilson Odobert on a 5-year deal. Okay, so yeah, we'll discuss this transfer. I think me and Boris probably won't agree. I don't know how Con feels about it, but I'm not against the signing, first off. Okay, I'm not. He's a good player. He's got a lot of potential. I've seen clips of him as well. He looks like he likes to take his man on, which is something we desperately need from one, or at least one of our wingers, because our other wingers don't seem to really want to do it. So I'm actually for the signing. However, I am concerned at the lack of I suppose, older players, not old players, but older, more experienced players to go alongside some of the youth players so that the youth can learn off people. Because right now, as a winger, they've got Sonny, who is a very good person to learn off, both on and off the pitch. And then you've got Werner, who, in my opinion, is, I'm not sure how many of his traits you want to pick up, certainly when it comes to certain things. I'm not saying he's a troublemaker or off the field, but he can't.
His work ethic.
Sorry?
His work ethic. Timo, his work ethic, even if he ends up being offside, he goes and goes again. He's got a great work ethic.
That's true, I guess. But I just think that we needed a more experienced player. I'm not against the signing, as I said. You got to have a blend. And I know that I will use Man United because it's such a good example. When you had all those youngsters, you needed your Roy Keanes in there, didn't you?
Yeah. You need somebody there to help guide them through. I mean, obviously we had Bex and everybody like that, but like you said, we had Roy Keane. But even before that, we had players like Dennis Irwin and everybody else.
Gary Pallister,
Gary Pallister. We had a lot of experienced players around them to help guide them and help them progress. I understand where you're coming from in this, to be fair, because I know you've got Son.
Yeah.
You could probably throw Romero in there, to be
fair.
Madison,
Vicario, Bentancur, Basuma.
I think
part of the accident.
I think Madison's got a bit of an attitude issue at the minute, though.
I was about to say it was also.
All right, then if that's it, okay then. Vicario, Romero, Son, Timo at times, Bentancur. He's
really?
26.
Yeah, he's 26.
Going compared to the average age, what's 21.6, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you've just brought in Dominic Solanke as well. He's an experienced Premier League player as well. I think you've got enough experience and age in there to be able to usher and help these youngsters that are getting brought into the team. I think Son and Romero are your big two, to be fair.
Yeah. Look, sorry, Tequila, go on. Have your say done. I'll have my say at the last.
No. I mean, that's it. I mean, Com explained it. Boris is given. I'm not saying that we don't have some experienced players. We do. Boris has named some of them. I just think that balance has to be there, and I think we've got enough of. I thought that we've brought enough youngsters. I'm not saying I'm not against the signing per se, but for example, we could have got a Jonathan David for a similar amount of money. I know that he's not technically a winger, but he's a forward player, and we could have gone and got
with David and this guy. This guy's actually Prem proven because he was in the Prem last season.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's Prem
more than David is in that sense.
Yeah, okay, maybe as far as David hasn't played the Premiership, but that is.
Then you could argue that Jonathan David is internationally proven.
Well, he is.
But you could buy a player from say Jonathan David. Who do you say is not going to perform in the Premier League? We've bought players before have not turned up in the Premier League. They've done great everywhere else. You turn up in the Premier League and they couldn't hit a cow up the arse.
And Dumbella.
And can I also ask about this player? He's not homegrown, is he? He's from France.
He will be once he gets to 21.
Yeah,
because he's not homegrown at the minute because he came to
Burnley. So there goes all that bullshit about us having to sign an English striker then, for the record, right?
Basically, yeah, I think so.
Thank you. I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm not going to go on the Solanke thing because it's done now. I'm just saying all that stuff I heard about him having to be English, complete bollocks.
Look,
as I
thing
said,
is though, he's not homegrown for another 2 years though. That's the thing.
Look,
this kid.
My view on this, right, is, and I was going to do a pre-record on this, and I decided not to because I decided to come out and say it on the stream tonight. Look, I'm very underwhelmed by this signing. Look, he looks a great kid. I mean, you described him, Tequila, to me in the
he can beat a man, which is what
he can beat a man, which is great. And look at his stats here.
Yeah,
top 5 league under 19 players in Europe. He's top 3 and top 4.
Don't worry, mate. I'm not against the signing.
I'm not against the signing. I'm just going to give. I sort of agree with you what you're saying in a way. And I'm just going
those
through the
stats. Sorry, David. Those stats, are they just players under the age of 19, or is that the under 19 league?
He's players under 19 playing in top flight football, so that's why Yamal, Desiree, and the other guy are on there, and the other two are on there. The ones who play in the top flight, so the top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
Top 5 leagues for these players around the same age. I mean, look, he did play in the Premier League last season. He has got pace to burn. Maybe, I don't know. This one was so under the radar that nobody knew, not even Fabrizio Romero knew about it. And suddenly we announced it this morning out of nowhere. I mean, I would love that if they did that with a Locatelli. They announce it tomorrow morning. Oh, we've bought Locatelli. We've made an agreement with the Italian side for Locatelli. I mean, that'd be great. But I understand why people feel a little bit underwhelmed, because we do need some ready-made players. But it's going the youth way, the way to go now. Is this the way football's going? Do I have to change my approach to the game now? Is it really a young 19, 20-year-olds game now?
It's not
even that. You go ahead first, Colm.
It's not even that, mate. Do you know what it is? It's because prices for your big known 27, 28-year-old strikers are astronomical now.
Yeah, they are.
You know, people, I mean, Manchester, I don't understand why, but Manchester United are wanting 35 million for Scott McTominay. He's never been a 35 million pound player, you know, but it's because of his age and who he's played for. It's all it is, mate. I don't think it's for the younger generation, but obviously the younger generation are going to start coming through. Our generation is going.
Just a quick yes or no on this one. Just a yes or no. Is he an Ange signing? Tequila?
100%.
Okay.
It's one of those, I don't know if Ange went to them and said, yes, I want him. More that he's probably been identified to fit Ange's profile of what he wants from his wingers. Well, because we've said it before, right? He wants pace. He wants pace. Pace. He's got pace. Also, he can take players on, which some of our other wingers can't, or at least seem to want to.
Yeah. Kulu, Johnson, Werner.
Yeah. Who's the other one who takes on his wingers?
I mean, Tequila. I mean, Colm. Do you think he's an Ange signing or a club signing? I know you're a Man United fan. I was a bit stupid asking you, but as a football fan, you looking on the outside in. Do you think he's an Ange signing, or do you think he's a club signing?
I think, and this is my honest opinion, I think this is a 50-50 signing, because I think Ange wants him, but obviously I don't know how much game time he's actually going to get this season. So we'll see, because he's only young, and you've got where he likes to play and where he's most prolific. You know, you have got Solomon there at the minute, and Timo Werner, and Son.
Yeah, from reports, Solomon's definitely leaving this window.
I was just about to say that, Boris, that he could be on the way out.
That's what. But his most prolific starting position is left wing. This is where all of his contributions have pretty much come from, is the left wing. Yeah. Now, does he get in over Son? I don't think so. You know, and then he's got to get in over Timo Werner.
I think he does.
Timo Werner, I don't think he does. Timo Werner's got a lot more experience than this young lad. You know, and I think he'll get some game time. Maybe we'll see him in cups. I think that's where he'll get used the most, in cup games.
I don't think Timo Werner, I don't think came to be third choice. I think he came to be maybe second choice, but I don't think he came in.
No, Timo Werner
definitely can also play on the right though as well. But that's the thing, and one more. It seems like he was going to be moved into the centre.
He can, but then what are you doing with Johnson?
Well, Johnson will have to fight it out with him. So then.
But why would you stick this lad when on the right wing he's played 5 games and scored 1 goal, on the left wing he's played 12, scored 3 and assisted 2?
There's something else actually I'd like to add about this as well. If you've got too many youngsters, don't you think they can get in each other's way when it comes to their progression for the team?
Probably.
How about Mikey Moore? Isn't he a winger as well?
Well, Mikey Moore's more of a central player.
You don't class? Okay.
No.
He's more of an inside forward like Son is.
Yeah. And look, I think Ange will get it right. I think Ange does and I agree with Colin. I think it's a 50-50 sign. And I think they've said to Ange, look, we can get this player. And Ange has looked at him and said, do you know what? Spoken to him. Okay, we'll bring you in. Look, there is 2 weeks left of the window. We know Spurs are going to get 2 more players in. We've been told that by my source. Well, I have been and Tequila has been. We know there's going to be outgoings as well.
Mind if I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I'm just for the people who just say, "Oh, he's not a great signing and stuff like that," he's for the future. 1 to 2 years down the line, he's probably going to be going for 70-80 million pound. We're going to get him now, and like everybody also says, we should go for championship players as well, like great players, stuff like that. Like look at Jared Bowen, James Maddison, Conor Gallagher, all them. Harry Maguire, as I said before, to Cockeral and yourself, and Andy Robertson, they all came up from the Championship.
Yeah, so then this brings me on to a question that Tequila and me were talking about on Tuesday. And Tequila said it to me today, and I think he makes a very good point. What if Ange doesn't make the second season? What if, for just out of being a little bit left side here.
Is this the question about where Ange enjoying the fruits of his labours kind of thing? Is this where you've got?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
This is the time bringing in all these players. Will Ange, and this is a general question, will Ange see the fruits of his labours? If we back him and we keep him in, then he will do. If things get tough this season, Levy's going to have to stick by Ange. He's going to have to stick by this manager because we cannot go through another manager. No manager since Poch has reached the end of the second season. We can't go through this again. We can't. It's always rinse and repeat.
The thing is, Dermo, right? The thing is, Daniel Levy doesn't have to stick by anybody. Daniel Levy owns the club. He doesn't have to stick by. He could. Let's say by December things aren't working out and he sacks Ange. The next manager that comes in, he can go, well, we spent all this money, so you're dealing with these players until at least the summer. You got to get the best out of what you got, you know? So
then what's the point then?
I know, but players like this lad, this Wilson lad, obviously, like I said, he'll get game time and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, is he for the now? I'm not 100% sure whether he is for the now. I think in a season or two, he'll be he'll be a good little player. He'll be fantastic, you know, and he probably will be worth 60, 70 million, you know, by that point. But like we're saying, Ange needs this time to develop these young players that he's bringing in.
Yeah. So that brings me to the question: are Spurs building for success? And I think they are.
If they back Ange and keep him, yeah.
My reply, Demo, is yes, they are probably trying to build for success, but it won't be Ange who actually gets the success. It'll be the next manager.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the man before the man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, he's building for a bit of both. We're building for the future and for success. I feel like if we end up getting like Locatelli in an actual number 6, who can actually hold it down and who's not makeshift 6, like Bentinker or Basuma, we've actually got a real chance of keeping hold of the midfield and not making sure we end up losing the ball.
You know, the problem you've got as well, and people aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but whatever. You want to keep Romero? You want to stop him going to Real Madrid? You don't buy kids this year. Fact. So when Romero leaves next year for Madrid, which you will, I'm sorry to tell everyone.
I don't think he will, Tequila.
We'll get a lot of money for him. But the good thing is we'll probably get 100 million, 80 million, 100 million for him.
I don't think he will.
South
Americans love Real Madrid.
I just want to know why, Dermo. This is the stuff that I don't get. With my I don't understand from you. Not me attacking you. This is the biggest stuff. Why would he not go to Real Madrid over Spurs?
Because we don't know what's going to happen this season. We can't look to the future. What's going to happen this season? If we have a season where we don't win anything, then yeah, I probably will agree.
And what do you think is likely to happen compared to all our history? Especially under this ownership, what is the most likely scenario? But at the end of the season,
I genuinely think we're going to win a trophy this season.
And that one trophy is going to stop him from going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that if he wins the League Cup, that's going to stop him from going to Real Madrid?
I don't look. We don't know. We don't know what players, what ambitions they have. He may be really happy. He's already gone on record said he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay at Tottenham and win something at Tottenham. And
right, but that make it even worse if you win something this year? Because then he's won something. You know, I mean, I'm fully with Tequila here, Dermo. Like, I'm not attacking, but I'm fully with Tequila. You know, Romero, it could stay here for a season, win a League Cup, fantastic, and then he gets a big money offer, a big wage offer from Real Madrid, and he's pretty much guaranteed to win either the league, the cup over there, and probably the Champions League. What's Tottenham going to offer? You know, Real Madrid can offer him a very good chance at winning a league trophy, a very good chance at winning their domestic cup, and a very good chance at winning the Champions League.
I understand that, and I think you, Tequila, are probably right. But maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. Maybe
I don't want to be right there, mate. I think I want to be saying all this to you. But...
I think I'm more optimistic. I think I'm more looking at it that I think we have to see how this season goes. And he's got 2 years left on his contract, I think, or 3 years. I think we have to see. We have to see how we know Levy can be a tough when it comes to transfers, like he was with Harry Kane. You're not going to Man City. And I think he'll have a price tag in mind for Romero. And it's down to the player as well. Evange is still there. I don't think Romero goes. If Ange goes, I think the likes of Romero would go if Ange left. I think it all depends on...
but Romero has worked under much greater manager than Ange. He's worked under Conte.
Yeah, but I think
he's a much bigger high-profile manager than Ange.
Yeah,
why would he stay just for Ange?
Yeah, I just think also... I don't think Romero... I mean, Carl Sampson here puts it here. He says, Romero will not be the first player to leave. It's all about making sure the next one's coming through. Yeah. Exactly. You can't... Oh God, you can't blame the players wanting to leave. You can't blame them. Look at Harry Kane.
This is what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say to you. You know, you were. I mean, 3 years ago, you would have never said Harry Kane's going to leave. You would have all said Harry Kane's staying until he retires.
I think I said it. We all said it. We all thought Harry Kane. I mean. Harry Kane would stay at Tottenham. We all said it, and then suddenly, I don't want Romero to go. I really don't. But Romero has won the biggest thing in world football. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Copa America.
But he's not won the biggest thing in club football.
I'm different. Yeah, but maybe look. Every player is different. You don't know how limited what players' ambitions are. Maybe a World Cup and the Copa America is good enough for him. Maybe he's happy at Tottenham. Maybe he's happy where he is. Maybe he doesn't want to go to Real Madrid. Maybe he doesn't want to go to that pressure. Maybe he likes it in London. We don't know. Or maybe he does want to go. Maybe the law of winning the Champions League might be too much for them. Players leave clubs. No player is loyal to a club. Every player will leave a club at the end of the day. And they will leave for more money because it's a money game. You've got a short career. You've got to make how much money you can within the amount of years. He could go out Monday, get a serious injury, and his career's over like that. Do you know? So he has to look out for himself. I get that, and I probably agree with you and Tequila and Boris. But I just don't want to see our best players go. But maybe just me being an older fan and maybe a fan that's a bit sentimental. Maybe I'm not sensible like you three. That you can see the logic. You can see the proper reasons for these happening. And maybe I'm just too sentimental when it comes to my club. Maybe I'm from a different generation when it comes to you three, because you three see it more sensibly. You three see it more probably right than I do. Well,
and the thing is, Dermo, you have to look at unfortunately, even in recent memories, not even just Kane. Look at Modric. Eventually, he left.
Yeah.
Gareth Bale. Eventually, he left. Berbatov left. Even Keane went to Liverpool for 6 months and said it was his boyhood club. Remember that?
Yeah. I remember Glenn Hoddle leaving, and I remember bawling my eyes out when Glenn Hoddle left Tottenham.
Yeah.
Do you know, I never dreamt Glenn Hoddle would leave Spurs, and he did. He went to Monaco. Players do move on, but maybe, as I said, maybe you lot are more sensible than me. Maybe I'm too sentimental. Maybe I'm too old school.
I don't think it is that, mate. Obviously, I know you. Like, I don't want. Well, I mean, I do. I want a couple to leave, but there's certain players that I wouldn't want to leave my club.
Yeah.
But I obviously I love football. I'll talk about football all day, every single day. No, I keep Bruno. To be fair, it's another one that plays on the wing and is English.
What's the other one? Tequila? Rashford? Is it Rashford?
Rashford, Mount. We know how much Commonwealth Mount.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
Scott McTominay is another one.
You tried to pull them to us, remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm thinking, and maybe it hasn't quite worked out. Yeah. I'm thinking Radu has been brought in to be the Romero placement for if he goes. And it hasn't worked out because Radu hasn't been the best player. He's not had the game time and stuff like that. I think Tottenham knew Real Madrid were going to come sniffing. I know he's contracted till 2027, so that's 3 years from now. That puts Radu about 25. So I'm just thinking, was that the plan to bring Radu in to try and replace Romero in case this happens?
Maybe. But look, that'd be another one to come back to. But just very quickly on our new signing. Tequila, very quickly. Look, just wish him the best, don't we? And I'll go through the three of us. I think Boris, you're the one that supports him the most. I think me and Tequila are the ones that are going to have to be proven. Would you be right in saying that, Tequila? We have to be proven.
Like I said, I'm not against the signing at all. I think he's going to end up being. I think he's going to end up being a decent player. My point always is that I said to you, Dermo, a couple of shows ago that I think Spurs are going to finish 6th. And you said to me, and you did, you said, well, then Andrew's going to get sacked.
Yeah, I did. And I stand by that.
So would he have more chance surviving if he would have got a more established player than a kid who probably will be good in a couple of years?
But we don't know who else he's going to bring in yet. We have to wait to the end of the winter.
Fair enough, but it's not quite over. But if the rumours are to be believed, we were in for the Neto, who obviously has gone to Chelsea. Is this kid in that same ballpark right now? No. He could be in a couple of years, but he's not now.
Well, look, it could turn out to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Look at Gareth Bale when we bought him. We were going to sell him.
Yeah, Bale took a couple of years himself. He was playing at left back, which didn't help, but he took a couple of years to come into his own as well. I'm not saying it's a bad sign. I'm just saying, if you want to keep Andrew around, I'm just saying a bit more experience would have improved his chances.
I agree with you on that, and I stand by what I said. If he finishes 6th, I don't think Levy will stand for that. And if we win a trophy, then I think he keeps it.
That's worrying, Dermo, because I think 6 is half decent for us this year, so that's very worrying.
Yeah, but if he wins a trophy, then I think he's fine. He keeps his job. It's all about winning that trophy.
If he wins a trophy, then fair enough.
Boris, I'll give you just very quickly because we haven't got much left, and I want to move on to other topics on the podcast. Just very quickly, you are happy about this signing. Do you think this lad can make it at Spurs?
Yeah, of course. We've seen just from the stats here, he's one of the best defenders, best under 19 wingers in Europe fighting against the players like Lamine Yamal, Desiree Doué, and so on. Players who say we should have gone for. Well, we would never be able to get Lamel in a million years, but we just see how good he is in a side like Burnley, who's been relegated. If he's that good in that team, just imagine how good he will be in ours. And his shirt number's also been confirmed. He's number 28.
Yeah. That's true. Well, Solanke got his number today, number 19. He's wearing, guys, for the start of the season. Very quickly, because me and Tequila have a pre-record to do after this. It is our predicted 11, so we are going to do that very quickly after this show. We weren't meant to do it before, but I started it and forgot to press the record button, so we decided to do it afterwards. which
True.
actually
It's
sent,
true.
It's true. It's true. It sent Tequila sideways laughing. Very, very quickly, Tottenham could make a late move to sign Colin Gallagher. I know Tequila's sort of.
I'm out. I'm out.
I never wanted him. He can get gone.
He will come back. So look, Gallagher.
I'm muting myself. Then you guys knock yourselves out.
No, I'm not going to talk about him very much. Basically, but Spurs' interest has not been enough for me. I think I talked to my source the other day. What I was told, and which I do agree will happen, it will go to deadline day. 3 clubs will stick a bid in, take it or leave it, and then see what happens. I think that was Ivan Toney we're on about. This is
Conor Gallagher's going to
Hotspur.
go to Madrid. Atletico.
Yeah.
He's going to be a swap deal for João Felix. I can tell you that for a fact.
And I think Ivan Toney will end up at Spurs. Don't know why, I just got it in my feeling. Now, the Hotspur Supporters Trust, who I think are the biggest waste of time since sliced bread. We're all excited about the new season starting. Yoo-hoo! And can't wait to see how Ange's second season charge goes. It's all positive so far. However, we know that for many, the removal of all senior season tickets from next season is a real worry. We will stand with all our supporter groups in opposition to the erosion of senior concessions, and we will continue the campaign together. Please sign and share our petition to demonstrate to Spurs the strength of it. This is absolutely disgraceful. And I'm very critical of the support and Hotspur Supporters Trust because I don't think they're useful for anything.
Dermo,
But
they are great at sending emails. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's about it. But I do support them on this. And I'm sorry, I'm so much against Levy on this. This is ridiculous. If it wasn't for our senior fans, they're the ones that were there when Tottenham, through hail, rain, and snow, they went to places left, right, and centre, up the country, no roofs on stands, standing there in the middle of December, pissing rain, getting soaked. Not the luxuries we get now going to football matches.
Yeah, Levy doesn't care about the old people. He's more caring bringing in
I think
new
this is a
fans.
massive own goal.
Fans.
Okay, I'll try not to take that as an insult, Tequila.
No, mate, he's trying to get new fans in. That's all I mean. I mean, he's trying to entice new fans in. He's not.
Yeah, I know that. I have a different take on it to you, but I'm just going to leave it.
Look, if it wasn't for us, we wouldn't have Tottenham Hotspur. Every fan should come in, young and old. We should be treated equally. Yeah. So just because I'm 47, 48 next year, nearly 50, doesn't make me any less of a fan than Boris or you, Tequila. And these senior fans who are paid good money year after year after year after year deserve their concession. I'm sure Manchester United do that for their elderly fans. I'm sure, don't they? I'm sure their elderly fans are well looked after.
The Glazers don't give a flying fuck about the fans.
So is there any concessions? No, seriously, is there any concessions for the older fans of Old Trafford?
There is a senior citizens price, yes, there is.
I think I agree with the supporters trust in this. Very quickly, Tequila, do you agree with them on this? I'm behind them on this.
But of course I do. But I don't think that Levy gives a shit.
No, I don't think he does, and I think it's wrong because all fans should be treated equally. From Boris to Philip, they should all treated equally, in my view. Now, today is the release clause of Eze's. The last day Crystal Palace expires today, and no club has activated it. Despite interest from several clubs, the clause expires for England winger. Boris, yeah, go on to Keith.
Okay, so again, people aren't going to like this, but had we not bought two of the youngsters and put their money together, we probably could have bought Eze. So I wonder what everyone thinks. What would you have preferred? A player like Eze for the 67 or whatever it is, or the two young players who, although they might be good in a couple of years, I'm not saying they won't be, but what would you have preferred? I would have preferred In this case, Eze.
Yeah, I think he's got his eye on Man City. To be fair,
that could be true. But if they don't come in for him and for meeting a release clause, then it's whether or not he wants to go to Spurs or stay at Palace. That's what the choice would be if it was only us who met the release clause.
That's it. And then, of course, here Man City and Tottenham are now joint favourites to sign the player with England, Eze, in the final weeks of the window. Boris, just very quickly, yes or no, will Spurs sign them?
Unknown.
Did you say yeah or no?
Unknown. So maybe.
Maybe. Colin, what do you reckon?
No, I don't think you will.
No. Tequila?
No chance.
He's coming to Tottenham, in my view.
Dermo, we've just spent another all that money on the other young winger. Why are we going to get another one now?
I just want to go through this. I just want to be delusional.
I don't believe that Dermo actually believes this. I believe Dermo is now doing it on purpose to be controversial. I don't believe for a second that he thinks Eze is covered.
It's tablet time for Dermo. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is tablet time for Dermo. Amazon's, this is from Hod God, I saw this earlier, Amazon Stadium, followed by Amazon Prime Spurs channel with live football subscription. You heard it here first. Woo-hoo.
I think you got more chance of KSI and Logan Paul buying your stadium than Amazon.
I'm good. I don't want Logan Paul.
No, I don't want that either. Imagine Greavesy, Mackay, and John White. Oh my God. John White, the ghost. What a player. And then it says the closest we've been to Real Madrid level was probably around the early 60s. Yeah, we were the best team in the world. But guys, that is the Cockeral Clock podcast. It went a bit longer than I wanted to. But these normally do because we just talk absolute nonsense. And we don't really stick to a script. We sort of get carried away. And
correction, you get carried away.
Yeah, but that's why people tune in. They want to see Dermatron. You know?
They want to see Dermo get carried away. Yeah, that brings the punters in, Boris.
It does.
Apparently.
You know. Apparently. I don't know why, but there you go. But Tequila, do you want to tell people what we've got coming up? Because we do have a special new show on Monday, don't we? 7:00. I'm looking forward to this show.
It's called Team Talk, isn't it? And that'll be starting it's an hour before kickoff at 7, isn't it? I believe 7 on a Monday.
It does. Yeah. So every match day now, we have 3 shows on a match day now. We have Tottenham Team Talk an hour before kickoff, the watch along, which will go live 15 minutes before kickoff, and then straight after. Well, depends on the result. Me and Tequila were sort of talking about this the other day.
If we get hammered, do we want to go on 15 minutes and then get absolutely blasted by everyone phoning in, saying leave me out or you missed that or whatever it's going to be? I don't know. We got thrown off YouTube so fast. We'll see.
Yeah. So depending on the result, it'll be between 1/4 and 1/2.
I think if you get hammered, you should go on instantaneously. Don't even end it. Just go straight into it, just so you can let all your frustration out. And if you win, come back in about 5 days.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
We've got a pre-record coming at me and Tequila just about to do that now in a minute. We've got new shows starting up this season. I think Boris is going to take a little look at a weekly show on the under-21s. They have now qualified for Europe as well.
Yeah, so the U21s also beat Chelsea's U21s 2-1.
Nice.
Good one. See, the Spurs are back in town. So yeah, we're going to bring you all the bit of the youth. This podcast you can listen to live on Spotify. It is on all your podcast channels, so please do subscribe on there. Please like and subscribe here as well. Let's get up to 1,000. Let's get to 2,000 before the start on Monday. I would love that. I doubt it, but I would love it. Carl says very quickly, Dermo has turned into a rock.
The Rock, Dermo. The wrestler, The Rock, Dermo.
Talking about himself in third person, ego has landed.
All you got to say, Dermo, if you smell what Dermo is cooking, that's all you got to say.
Yeah, if you do, yeah. Levy doesn't give a shit. He would price it. Yeah, exactly. The deal will be done with Atletico. A perfect 8, in my opinion, says Hot God 10.
I've seen plenty of perfect 8s. Wish I could see more perfect 10s.
Shane, we didn't make a move from Matt O'Reilly. It really is. But Tequila, where can people find you, sir?
Obviously on this great place with you great lads, and on the Play Pouch, which we will be having a special show in the next couple of days because we hit 100 subs. Yay! So you can catch me there. Thanks, guys.
Colin, thank you very much. Congratulations on your first win of the season. Top of the league for 24 hours. So where can people find you, sir?
Still top of the league for longer than what you're going to be. I'm joking. I am on the MUFC Spotlight. That's my Manchester United channel. The Full-Time Sports Network as well, which we cover all the games. And we are going to be focusing a lot more on the Championship, League 1 and League 2 this season as well, seeing so we've got access to be able to watch them now. Thank you, Sky Sports Plus. And Double Dum Gaming, where eventually you shall see us play D&D on there. We don't know when, because I've got prima donnas in that chat. But yeah, eventually we'll be there. You can find me here as well.
Yeah. And of course, all the league, of course, Dan, I'll get back to what we're doing. And Boris, our newest member, our latest signing of the. He was an easier signing to get done than the Tequila signing, to be fair. Tequila was a difficult signing to get done.
I was like the THF Till I Die Conor Gallagher signing. They just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, you were. It was just ongoing and ongoing.
Yeah.
But it all but like was Boris. It was just done and dusted like that. Came in, announced, here he is. Straight down that wing like nobody's business. Do you have any social media where people can follow you, Boris, or where can people find you? I know they find you here, but where else can people
plug your Twitter and everything, mate? You might as well.
I would do, but it's a massive. It's too many numbers at the end of it, so I'm all good. But in general,
send it in to me. Yeah, send me in on WhatsApp, and I'll put it in the description for you.
All right, then. But in general, you can find me on here, as well as if I'm ever on anybody else's streams at all in regards to it. But most of the time, 100% of the time, you'll find me on this channel, hosting or assisting with Demo, with Tequila, with everybody else.
Well, listen, guys, that has been the Cockeral podcast. We are back tomorrow, 2:45 with Around the Grounds with myself, hopefully Tequila, hopefully Boris will be with me, and Colin as well. With all the late scores, news, goals go in from the Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, and the non-league as well. The football season is back. Let's all rejoice. Let's all be happy. Spurs are back. Pre-record will be out tomorrow evening with our predicted lineup. Also, there will be a pre-match show on Sunday at 8 o'clock. So join us for that. And also on Monday, 7 o'clock, Tottenham Team Talk, 7:45, the watch along. And then after the watch along, post-match live starts as we then go for about half an hour after the match to give our thoughts on the game and hear your thoughts as well. Whatever you do, enjoy your evening. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Do the same on Spotify and any podcast channels you're on. Please get over to all these great channels as well. The Play Pouch, Full-Time Sports Network, MUFC Spotlight as well. And also Boris, when we put his description in on Twitter, follow the great lads. Whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust. And just give us 2 minutes before you say your famous words, Tequila. Okay, you can say them now.
Guys. There you go.